Hello and welcome to the Chapterskip podcast, volume 19. I'm Mark.
I'm Chad.
And I'm Joe.
And I'm Sean. Welcome along to the show. Welcome everyone. You doing alright?
Yeah.
Everyone feeling good?
Yeah.
Nice and warm?
Warm.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite warm.
It's quite cool now though, it's nice.
Yeah. We're not here to talk about the weather or how warm we're feeling.
I had a sort of hot weather injury though the other day.
Oh God.
Involving my bed and my testicles.
You and your genitals, man.
30 seconds into the cast.
It was my wife's fault, to be fair.
Oh, what's she doing with
Your
your
wife's
genitals?
genitals?
No, my genitals, but it was my wife's fault. Well, because it's been really hot and I've been laying on top of the covers, obviously.
Yeah.
But she'd felt cool in the night and decided to pull the sheet. And I was laying on it and somehow I'd had my nads hooked over the edge of the sheet. So she kind of pulled it and sawed along the bottom of my testicles with the sheet. So obviously I woke up not very happy.
So she
and in a bit of pain.
She thought she pulled the sheet over,
She
but
just
it
pulled
was
the
your sack.
sheet.
It was your sack. It was your bum sack over. Oh, what's this? The sheet's hairy.
Why does this sheet feel like a kind of weird, moist wonder?
Yeah.
It's a bit skin-like and rubbery.
And you're laying there like, alright, look.
No, so she pulled the sheet and it ran along the bottom of my sack, and I wasn't very happy when I woke up with that.
You got
Got your
Chinese
ball patch.
Chinese scrotum bone.
Chinese scrotum
Almost like the
bone.
midnight bloody testicular amputation. We'll talk about cocks and balls and various sexual bits and bobs later on in the podcast, I'm sure. I've got a little bit of prep about penises. A bit of prep about penises and whatnot. But like other podcasts, we normally start off with the homework that we've been set from the previous week. And just a reminder, Mark, your homework was to
watch Filth.
Filth, yep, James McAvoy's Filth, and that came about because, Chud, you brought in a top 10 list of underrated actors, didn't you?
Yeah.
And James McAvoy was in that, wasn't he?
He was.
And,
Which we didn't agree with, did we?
No, he's a bit like, he's rated. He's not underrated,
Yeah.
he's rated. So, yeah, I suggested Filth to Mark. Chud, you didn't do your homework last week, so you had double amount of homework this week, which was Sharknado.
And the Raid.
And the Raid. Okay, I feel it's going to be, evened out with the good and bad reviews on that one. Joe, last week you got talking about anime and not really being introduced into the world in anime, and Mark being the anime expert, in parentheses.
I had to watch Bambi.
You had to watch a movie called Wolf Children.
Yeah, Wolf Children, yeah.
Okie dokie. And finally, myself. I don't know how we got talking about it. I think it was because we were talking about, was it Luc Besson or was it Jean Reno?
Jean Reno. He was in
Leon.
that list again, wasn't he?
Yeah, and the week before I think we actually mentioned Leon as well, because you guys were talking about Luc Besson as a director, and one of you mentioned that. He's like, oh, you probably like that, and then it followed on to the next week. So I remember you guys talking about
Hannah, was it? Or Lucy, whatever the name's.
Yeah, Lucy, yeah. Which is coming out this month or next month.
Oh, right.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that. It's getting good reviews in the US, as it's already out, but we have to wait, unfortunately. So my homework this week was to watch Leon, or as it's also known, Leon the Professional, from 1994, with a little wee Natalie Portman kicking around.
Yeah.
First
With a
ever movie
cigarette.
role, I think.
Yeah. So who would like to go first in explaining their homework? I meant,
Because I always go last. That's why I'm not to go first.
Well,
Why don't we mix it all
Chud
up?
actually
Let's mix it
had
up.
2 lots of homework, and he watched Sharknado, which we reviewed fairly in depth. Well, I say reviewed.
Right.
We talked about and ripped apart and raged about Sharknado last week. Have you got any sort of additional comments you'd like to add to what we spoke about
You're
last
going to
week?
thank us for offering you that as a...
No, I was thinking a bunch of motherfuckers. Seriously, I was thinking about ending our friendships after. I can't believe I sat through, what was that, 90, an hour and a half of that complete and utter trollop shite.
How good was Tara Reid? That was
It's
amazing, wasn't it?
fucking awful. It was just the continuity. I couldn't concentrate just because the continuity was all over the place.
With a wind
Pretty much
and
what
then,
you guys
with a wind and then
covered.
nothing there, and then it's there, and it's.
You didn't sit through it alone though, did you?
Oh no, Joe watched about half it with me, and then she was like, "I can't do this," and she went to sleep.
Now we're talking about Joe, your girlfriend, not Joe who's sitting next to you.
Yeah, I already watched.
That's kind of weird if you Joe watch it again and then you're referring to him
I
as
love
a
it that
she.
much. And he calls me that on weekends. So.
Oh yeah, obviously. you knew what I was going to think of it.
Obviously.
It was torture. I thought of it as punishment for not doing my homework the week before.
So you're not elevating Sharknado, enough said.
No, I am looking forward to all of us getting together and watching the second one so we can tear it to pieces.
Which actually comes out... when this podcast goes live, it actually came out yesterday. So potentially, if we can get together, meet up, and get some stuff hooked up, we can do it for next week's podcast, which will be the 20th volume of the Chapterskip podcast. So it'll be like a Sharknado 2 special, which will be quite good if we can all get together. If not, it'll be another average podcast where we talk about penises, movies, boobs, porn, and whatever else, swear words and such.
I think I've got piles, so we could talk about that as well.
Or not. Judging from the silence.
Right, so we'll hear what you have to say about the raid very shortly. Seeing as though you were so keen, Mark, do you want to tell us about Filth?
I do. Like we said, it came about because James McAvoy was on that list of underrated actors, and I thought he nailed the role perfectly. Just to explain to those that don't know, he's a Scottish detective, and there's a promotion coming up for, I think, what do you call it? Detective inspector. Oh no, he's an inspector, and he's coming up for the next chief inspector. Yeah. But there's 4 or 5 of them up for this promotion, and his goal is to eliminate the competition, get himself promoted. He's a complete bastard. He's always been a bastard.
He doesn't do things by the book, does he? He likes to kind of do things his own way, and he's going to try to do anything he can to get ahead of these people.
But initially, I wasn't enjoying the film, and I was quite bored by it. So it's this bloke's a tosser. Why should I give a fuck about this character?
I was like, I love him already because it's James McAvoy, swearing and taking drugs and drinking and just being generally filthy.
But it was the sort of he'd annoyed the shit out of me in real life. I wouldn't want to know this person in real life.
You wouldn't hang out with him, would you?
That's what I mean. It's why do I care about this bloke who's a bit of a cunt? He tried to get a 15-year-old girl to suck his dick. He's clearly a tosspot. Why should I give a shit about what happens to him? And I think I stopped about 45 minutes in. I went off to do a few other things, and I picked up later on in the evening, and I kind of got into it.
Yeah.
And I started enjoying it. Whether it was Eddie Marsan, he kind of helped elevate it. Because you needed someone who's not exactly normal, but wasn't a twat.
Yeah.
To kind of balance things out.
Now, who here has actually seen Filth? Have you seen it, Chad?
No, it's one of those films that's on my to-watch list.
Yeah.
I just haven't got
that was his good friend in it, and he just robs him and stuff. Did he rob someone out of his pocket? His money out of his pocket?
More than
that might have been someone else. I don't know. He did steal money from someone. He took him out to Berlin on
I think
the banks of prostitutes or something, and then Eddie Marsan got drunk and went off with 2 blokes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So his character did, I should say, not Eddie Marsan did that.
Just a cunt.
But yeah, initially I was like, this bloke's such a douchebag. I've got no investment in his character. Whatever happens to him, I don't care that his wife has left him and so on and so forth. But then, like I said, I had a little break from it, went back to it, and kind of got into it, and ended up enjoying it. I will watch it again at some point.
Yeah, I think I need to rewatch it because I actually watched it in the cinema.
Oh, spoiler alert! I mean, we always do spoilers. Everyone should know this by now. We do spoilers and we swear a lot. So deal with
That's
that.
what we're known for: spoilers and swearing, and cocks.
I was kind of I knew he was kind of imagining the stuff with his wife, but I didn't know to the extent that he was imagining it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say. Because Chad hasn't seen it though, so I suppose it's not really a spoiler.
Yeah.
But
there's a book out there.
Yeah. But it was that was quite good. That's why with the whole they were saying, there was a blonde witness. Why haven't you tried to track her down? It's that's why. That makes sense now. And you understand. There's a bit at the end where you kind of I understand why he's being a racist twat on his flight out on the plane. It's why he was moaning about why a white woman shouldn't go with a black guy and all this. You're what's this all come from, you racist fuck? I can see why he was like that. Not that I wouldn't justify it, but it's I understand why he was all ranting about it. But
in the one scene where his friend, the receptionist lady, so he had to fuck her.
Oh, well, he got the idea. He wanted to show up his mate who fancied a receptionist because he knew his mate had a tiny cock, and he was like, "Oh, we're all going to go in the other room, secretly photocopy her cocks, and then it's all cocks again, isn't it?" And then we'll put them up on the wall, and everyone's got to try and guess whose cock it is. But he'd used the enlarge button on his.
Yeah. He's just a cunt.
So initially I didn't like it, and then I kind of got into it. And although I still think it was a complete douchebag, and I didn't get into I didn't see any reason to like his character. You kind of do. It's like you get used to him.
Yeah.
He's like athlete's foot, I think, or something. Like, initially, you're like, this is fucking annoying, and then you've just got used to this pain over time, and you're like, yeah, I can live with it.
It's like you during the night, you had your nads whipped off, and you're like, oh my god, that's not too bad now.
Yeah,
I'm just a bit tired.
It's eased off now, I'll just go to sleep. I then kind of like it. But yeah, I enjoyed it more than I thought it was going to, more than I did when I first started watching it.
What, having balls? Oh, you mean the film?
Now, normally I try and like judge whether you would actually like movies, and normally I can do a good job in thinking, yeah, you'll like this aspect, or not like this aspect. Like, I knew you wouldn't like Only Lovers Left Alive, so that was kind of half the reason we got you to watch it. But with regards to Filth, I was a bit like, he's probably going to like aspects of it, and then you probably wouldn't like others. And I think, I wasn't sure which way you was going to lean on that one, so I'm kind of happy you enjoyed it.
I do need to sit and watch it again, because I think it's also one of those things you've got to be in the right frame of mind for it. Yeah. Maybe I wasn't when I first started watching it, because I was like, this is a bit boring, he's just a twat. Who cares?
Could you understand him?
Yeah.
Really thick Scottish accent.
So the the books are supposed to be in like the Scottish style.
But it was like Jim Broadbent.
Just in the head.
Some of it, I kind of like the look of him.
It's
just like Jim Broadbent with his extended cranium and his crazy hair, but then he spent too much time going.
That's it.
I know you're meant to be like this weird mad hallucination-y thing, but tone it down a bit, because you've gone too fucking weird. But then him as well. Initially, it's like, you've gone too fucking mental. But then later on, when he was back in it again, it's like, I've got used to your level of mentality.
Did you enjoy Trainspotting at all? Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I think I've got it actually. Yeah.
Alright, cool. Don't know anybody that doesn't like Trains.
No, because it's the same guy that wrote the books.
No, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and I will watch it again.
Did you enjoy the prank phone calls? I found them particularly hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, to Bunty.
Yeah.
Bunty.
Yeah, that was good.
Excellent stuff. So it's sort of mainly positive things, and you'd recommend it to people out there who aren't of a kind of a conservative disposition.
You want
There's a lot of swearing,
different.
drugs, and nudity, and
you're not easily offended. Give it a. It's not.
Well, if you listen
to
the
extreme as such a nudity or someone, but yeah.
Yeah, if you listen to our podcast, you're not adverse to hearing a few swear words here, there, and everywhere. So you might like the movie film.
we probably swore more than there has been in that film.
Probably.
And we spoke more about cocks than was in that film. So.
We've done almost 20 editions, and we always talk about penises. I think in the very first one, did we talk about penises? Yep, Shia LaBeouf. Who wants to go next with their homework?
Should I go then?
Yeah, if you want to, yeah.
Okay. So you tasked me with watching The Raid a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because I missed it last week. Mark had a copy of it, which she'd lent to me.
Yeah, you come borrow my DVD.
And after watching that film, I decided to redeem our friendships. I think we're safe. I think it's alright, you guys.
So you did it the right way around. You watched Sharknado and then The Raid. Good shout, because it'd have been like, oh my god, The Raid, and then bloody shark, bloody nado.
I really, really, really enjoyed it. I don't think I've ever seen an Indonesian film. Not like that, anyway.
That's great, isn't it?
I mean, have you guys been over this film before for the podcast?
Well, we talked about number 2 a little bit more, because I can't really remember what happened in number 1, just a few sort of standout scenes.
I mean, I thought it was going to be, like a gauntlet movie, you know, one of these movies where they have to run through certain areas, whatever, like Warriors or something like that. Game, then. Yeah, kind of like that sort of thing. And although it kind of was, it reminded me of Dread a little bit with the...
I think
like the tower block set.
That came out before Dread, though, didn't it? The Raid.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the story's fairly simple, you know, drug lord in a tent, like in a 30-storey building, SWAT team got to go in there and get him, sort of thing. So it wasn't... There was a few twists and turns, and I won't spoil anything for anybody who wants to check it out, which I highly recommend you do. The choreography of the fight scenes was fucking amazing. It's real visceral, and it looked like they were absolutely proper kicking the shit
you
out.
You feel it in your chest, don't you? It's like that, boom, you're like, oh, that hurt.
The fighting wasn't so over the top. Some of the stuff they were doing was real clever as well. It was real brutal grappling, and one particular scene was the broken bit at the bottom of the door. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
You know, he pulls the guy's head down.
He slams his neck down.
Yeah, well, he's kicked a guy through the door, I think. And at the bottom of the door, there's like the jagged bits of woods, and he grabs one guy and like jumps backwards and slams his head on. I was blown away with the film. I mean, it's a brilliant martial arts film.
Yeah. Because a bit for me was the guy who dropped down the stairwell and smashed his back on that.
Oh yeah, on the opposite side of the bounce.
That's what we mentioned before, because we watched it and I was like, they've killed a fucking stuntman.
Yeah.
I've seen how they've done it. It's like, all right, I got you now.
He's still alive, just got a broken back.
It's just a real visceral. It was hard to take a breath. There wasn't really much pause for to gather yourself. It was just relentless, going, sort of thing. Yeah, highly recommend it.
Well, I think it's a definite dead certain that you're actually going to love the Raid 2 as well, because it carries on in a similar vein, probably more so. You know, there's a more in-depth stories and there's a few different characters. And
because the other one's 2.5 hours, is it, or something?
Yeah, number 2's quite
long.
Because it's
got
got
watching bits on it because it's so long.
It's got a big plot going on now, so it's
I had to
not
give it a
just
break and I had to
relentless.
do it for homework and then come back to it.
I mean, I liked how gritty and dark it was as well. And the acting, it's martial arts sort of actor. I found the main villain. I can't remember his name now. He was
What, the Mad Dog or the
the
guy
Mad Dog's fucking amazing. No, the main.
Oh, the one at the start when he's shooting the guys in the back of the head.
He puts the gun on his shoulder.
Yeah.
He says, and then gets the fucking hammer. I was like, what? Yeah, that made me like him, to be honest.
So, wow, you're a bastard.
That's how I was with Raid 2 when I was talking about the scene the other week.
Because I took Mad Dog
film.
to be a reference from Hard Boiled. You seen that one?
No.
John Wick, there's like there's a big fight in the hospital.
Yeah.
Because there's a guy in that called Mad Dog, and you have the eye patch on at the end. Yeah. I'm a bit disappointed now, Sean. In
What
you.
is?
Because last time we mentioned the Raid 2 and you mentioned chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate, not chocolate.
Chocolate.
And he was all like, it's all punch, punch, kick, kick. And you sounded like fucking Chop Chop Master Onion. And I wanted you to do more of that.
Parappa the Rapper.
Yeah, I want some like punch, kick, it's all in the mind.
It's all in the mind. If you want to test me, I'm sure you're fine. Things I teach you.
We love that game.
X, triangle, square.
I was waiting for you to go like, punch, punch, kick, kick. And it's like, he's Chop Chop Master Onion.
So good.
So generally, positive, 2 thumbs up, 5 stars.
I wouldn't say it was the best martial arts film I've ever seen, but it's up there. I'd recommend it. Anyone who likes full-on action martial arts films, definitely check that film.
So what would you say would be above the Raid then?
Ong Bak. I pretty much like all the Ong Bak films.
Have you seen, I know we gave this to Joe's homework, have you seen Ip Man?
No, I've been meaning to watch that. So maybe you guys talk about it, in a sense.
Really good.
Real good. But yeah, it's highly rated. It's definitely one of my favourites. Oh, and Bloodsport. Love Bloodsport.
I was going to say Karate Kid or something like that.
Yeah.
God, I've not seen that for a long time.
Fucking brilliant film.
Carrying along down the line, Joe, you had to watch Wolf Children, which was an anime movie. Let us know what you thought of that.
Well, I watched most of it, but I've been busy with my band and stuff, so I had to go out. So sadly I didn't get to watch all of it.
How much did you kind of get through?
Sort of halfway, I'd say, yeah. But what I watched from it with I don't know that anime. How I was just watching it, I was getting really involved and I was really liking it. And then I'm like, well, this is anime. This isn't real people. This is because I don't watch a lot of that.
That's a typical thing with anime.
So so it's new for me and that, and it's just like, fuck, this is so good. I really enjoyed it.
So you're looking forward, you are going to finish it off.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. I'll certainly finish it off because I was getting really into it, but I was just busy and I just didn't have the time.
Once you start watching anime and you start getting used to it, because at first it's all a bit strange, but then you really do get pulled into.
When I've watched things, because Mark likes his anime and stuff, and we've had to do stuff at homework when we've done the Chapterskip, the film and stuff. And I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it, so it's cool. Yeah. But no, it's a good story. How she knows what he tells her what he is with the wolf.
The woman meets the guy and he turns out
this is what I am.
He's a werewolf.
And she takes it on. She don't care.
She accepts that.
Accepts it, and then obviously. I don't want to give too much away because I don't know.
Well, I think I mentioned it the other week that he dies.
He dies, and then she has to raise them
because she couldn't figure out why he'd gone out and killed a pheasant or something, and she thinks it was his animal instincts for I've got to provide for this 2 kids, the newborn. I've got to go out and hunt for food for it.
Yeah, and then the kids at 1 minute they're hungry as being little children, and then the next minute they're bloody wolves and they're chewing on the table legs and. Just being pains in the ass, and she's so tired with them and that because they don't sleep. Because
the little girl's like, Mum, and as she's getting more wound up, their ears sprouting, their nose changing, she's running around then.
And then they've got they've got the people coming to say you haven't been had your children haven't been checked, which they should have been when they was born. And she says there's nothing wrong with them and all this, and she lives in the city, don't she? And the neighbours.
Because she's worried, people are going to these are strange, freaky creatures. We have to
And then one of them gets sick and she's spewing up, and because she's at that jail, that
silica
jail,
jail,
whatever it is, and like you said, she don't know whether to go to the vets or to the hospital.
Yeah, she's like, what the fuck do I do? Yeah.
she's just learning with books all the time, reading, isn't she? And she's had to give up like university as well and all that, and then she ends up like moving to the country, isn't it? And getting a little shack.
She's like a little run-down, dilapidated building. And all the locals are kind of thinking, she's never going to make it. No. This planting her own crops and living in this little shack, give her a week top sort of thing.
And they're struggling, aren't they? And this he's just an bitter old man, isn't he? And he's like, you're doing that wrong, you're doing this, you should do it like this. And it's like, a bit like Karate Kid, and she's like, hey, okay. And it's like, plan them like this, do it like that, and
wax on,
that sort of stuff. You got to do it, but she ends up growing like lots of cool crops and that. But that's all I got up to, and then I'd go out, I'm afraid. But yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, cool.
I'm enjoying it anyway.
I'm enjoying it.
So you'll continue your review next week, maybe, or unless we're just gonna focus in-depthly on Sharknado, mate, it'll be a couple of weeks down the line, but
I can let you know, I can bring it up.
I've just gotten over the fucking
Number 2.
It's okay, we'll be here to hold your hand and, guide you through Sharknado.
We hold each other. We're all going to need support.
Number 2 is supposed to be a summer blockbuster, anyway.
I like how Shark 2 is coming out, right, it's not cinema, but it's coming out the same week as Guardians of the Galaxy. Well, I know which one I'd rather fucking.
What do I do? I don't know.
Sci-Fi Channel, DVR or Sky Plus. Bugger off to the cinema, watch Guardians, come back, and don't bother watching Sharknado 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final piece of homework rests on my shoulders.
Looking forward to this.
Leon the Professional from Luc Besson, 1994. 11-year-old Natalie Portman and Jean Reno. For those out there that haven't seen the movie or heard about it, basically Jean Reno's character, Leon, he's like a professional hitman, isn't he? And he's pretty good at his job.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, you're pretty badass, puts his coat on, puts his little hat on because he doesn't want to catch a cold.
Swingers.
Puts his glasses on.
So he's to himself.
Yeah, and keeps himself to himself. And he lives in an apartment block, and he sort of comes across a very young Natalie Portman, aka Matilda, and she's a bit of a rebel because you can tell she's wearing the crazy short shorts from the 90s and colourful leggings and stuff like that. And I was a bit like, whoa, this is hella 90s, all the fashion and stuff. But I was like, I need to get this out of my mind because if I start focusing on like the fashion and like the music and like people like listening to Walkmans and stuff, it's like, wow, all right, yeah, it hasn't aged very well. But yeah, that aside, and and then Gary Oldman's character gets introduced, and you're like, oh, what on earth is this guy? Is he like a mob boss? I don't really understand what is he mentally incompetent? Is he just a weirdo? Is he just like a super intelligent guy that just acts a bit weird? And then you're like, wow, I think he's all of the above. Absolutely nutjob character, which I really enjoyed. And I think I found certain elements of that character in his character in The Fifth Element. Because they're both kind of a bit quirky, and obviously his in the future, and he's got that weird like head plate thing and
that weird accent.
Yeah, strange accent, and you get introduced to Gary Oldman, who I thought was just excellent. Stuff happens, and it turns out that Natalie Portman, her parents get murdered because of like getting caught up in drugs and stuff, and she seeks refuge with Leon. So. Then you get kind of like a training montage, don't you? Where she wants to go under his wing and become a cleaner, as they call it, And then we go on from there, and the movie takes a lot of sort of twists and turns and goes down a few different alleys. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. There was a few things missing. I thought there was maybe not enough connectivity with Leon as a character. I felt he felt a bit distant. But maybe you're meant to kind of feel that kind of distance because you're trying to.
You don't want anyone in his world, does he? You don't want anyone in his world.
You're trying to like live the movie through Matilda rather than through Leon, who I thought you would have, kind of empathised with him more with his struggles of being like, a guy that goes out and kills people for money, but he has to look after this little girl because, he feels that it's his duty or whatever.
Does he look after a plant as well?
Yeah, I was going to talk about the plant as well. It was like, out of like the three main characters, which would have been Leon, Matilda and the plant, I was a bit like, I want to save the plant! You just kind of, it's weird, it's like a completely inanimate object, but you're a bit like, I don't want the plant to get ruined. And there's that like one scene like where the end they're trying to break out.
Wraps
And,
it up in his
wrap it and then drop it down the lift shaft. I'm like, no, don't break the plant! And then spoiler alert, the plant's alright. Really enjoyed it. A bit of disconnect between myself and Leon, but that was okay. Because I felt his character had
kind of
plenty
fit
of depth.
his character though, you know.
Yeah. Really well shot. Great story. Probably, I don't know if it went on too long for me. Maybe there was a few things that probably didn't need to be introduced or, explored or anything like that. But overall, pretty good.
Cool.
There's a scene where she's on the roof as well, when she shoots the mayor jogging or something with a paintball gun.
Yeah, that was a really good scene.
I
I like that transition where it's like when you're starting out as a hitman, you'll start with a sniper rifle, and the better you get, the closer to your target you get. So when you're really good, you use a knife.
Yeah.
And it's like, I kind of like that weird.
It's in one of the first scenes.
He's
with a knife, isn't he?
Yeah.
When he goes after his what you see that first mark in the film when he goes after.
Great film, and again, that's you know when they're like really good because it's a film I ain't seen for so long, but I can remember it.
Yeah.
I've seen it for fucking years,
Like
but I can
Gary
remember
Oldman,
it. I can remember all them bits.
Remember all his stuff when he's taking them pills and he
he
did
does
that
this
weird
weird
thing.
I was a bit like,
Sticks in your
is
head,
that
doesn't
like
it?
crazy overacting or was that just like perfect?
But Gary Oldman's always got that slightly.
Yeah.
When he does crazy, he does it.
And
really
a
fucking well.
particular scene when Gary Oldman's talking to that one guy who's entrusted to hold the drugs for him. It was 100% clean or 100% like proof or whatever it was, and then they tested again. It was only 90%. It's like, oh, what you cut it with? It's like you don't lie to me because I can tell. And then he like starts like sniffing him and stuff like that. It's like apparently on the IMDb trivia that was like completely improvised and stuff, and he got like ridiculously close to the actor. So that's why the actor looked genuinely like scared and a bit weirded out because like Gary Oldman's just sniffing around him. I'd be like, what are you doing?
Just that bit when him shouting when he's like, get everyone, and the bloke's like, what? He's like, everyone!
Yeah.
Like, fuck, that was
That
brilliant.
was apparently ad-libbed as well.
Oh, cool.
Apparently,
It was like, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, in earlier takes, like he was like, "Get everyone." What? He's like, "Get everyone."
Yeah.
And then Luc Besson was just like, "Right, sound guy, take your headphones off. Maybe pull the mic away a bit." And he goes, "I want you to absolutely just like mean this and shout it." And then he just like, that was really cool. I thought,
Yeah, I thought it was cool.
He plays a really good character in that sort of vein in True Romance. Has anyone seen that?
Oh,
No.
Drexel, isn't it? or
Yeah,
something?
he's like the wigger, isn't he?
He's,
like
yeah,
wigger,
he's
like
a white Rastafarian.
Yeah.
Drugged. Yeah, because then what's his name? He's in that. What's the main guy? Christian Slater. Yeah, he turns up because Gary Oldman's character Drexel runs a brothel, don't he? And he's also doing drugs and all this. And then Christian Slater comes in, trying to be all hard, and he's sitting there going, "Is this White Boy Day?
Yeah.
I don't remember this being White Boy Day."
Yeah,
And he's all this weird. Oh shit!
And he keeps seeing Elvis. He helps him out, and he Elvis.
Oh
Christian
yeah,
Slater.
Christian Slater. That's Val
It's a
Kilmer
crazy
plays
film.
Elvis.
It's
You
really
don't even
good
see his face, but
It's a really good film. Who's the girl in it again? She's got a good actress. Is it Arquette? Yeah, someone Arquette in it.
Patricia Arquette, yeah.
Patricia Arquette.
Nails it. Everyone in that film nails that. So yeah, if you're not seeing True Romance,
It's a great
that
film.
gets a recommendation as well.
Potential homework. Keep an ear on that one. Make a note of that. Any last thoughts? Let me think. It's kind of weird that Natalie Portman was so young, and then they have a scene towards the end where, she's declaring her love for him, and then they get in the bed and she cuddles up with him. You're a bit like, where's this gonna go?
If you're on IMDb, there's a little bit in the trivia where they says about Natalie Portman's family were a little bit uneasy with that style of. Because there was that undercurrent of uneasiness between. Because even Leon was kind of a little bit not really sure what was
There was nothing like paedophilic about it.
No.
So she was obsessed with him, and she had this. She'd kind of fallen in love with him, but he wasn't comfortable with this at all, kind of thing. And
I always felt he kind of took like a fatherly responsibility.
that's what I think it was.
And it was a bit like, I don't want to push her away because I think she has like a tendency to probably go a bit mental. She's a bit of a rebel and smoked and watched a lot of Transformers, which was awesome. I guess he thought if I push her away, he feels a bit responsible for her. She might go do something stupid, like she wanted to get revenge on her parents. And I guess he thought, well, maybe if I train her well, then she could do the job a little bit better than that.
And they said the parents also were there, like she never ever did take a drag of the cigarette.
I read about that as well.
Because it always cuts away when she's in the mouth. Yeah, that's great film.
Really,
talking about Gary Oldman, did you mention something that had him in that I know 3 of us have seen?
I think we probably should. We should probably talk about it spoiler free.
Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah. I was sitting there thinking, what?
Well, no, if we talk about
I know you've seen it because we discussed it online a little bit.
I think we should talk about it spoiler free, and then potentially we can all meet up and maybe do like a heavy spoiler cast episode on it. We're talking about Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, the recent Hollywood summer blockbuster.
If we were now going to do our top 10, it'd fucking be in there.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Better than the first one, I think.
And so you need to watch it.
Yeah. Have you seen the first one yet?
No.
What are you doing, man?
Well,
You're so behind the times, man.
It's like a £5 on Amazon, dude. You should just pick it up. Yeah.
I've got it. I'll rent it to you.
That's your homework for you then.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
that'd be good.
Was it last week I spoke about it? I said that I'd recently checked it out, and then obviously I found out there was a.
I said in the podcast I was going to be watching it on Thursday, which I did.
Yeah, I went to watch it.
Father to the new cinema, which I've never been to yet.
Was it good?
Really nice place.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I haven't been yet.
Yeah, they don't charge you extra for 3D, so we went for a 3D showing.
Cool.
I caught the 2D
Screen
showing on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It didn't really need the 3D. It had that nice depth of vision that 3D gives you, but there was nothing really in your face. Nothing that's going to make it a must see in 3D. But it was fucking good film.
It was really good, and we can talk about it all night probably because there were so many bits within the movie that you're like, that's kind of quotable, that you could mention that, and a lot of people would get that or be like excited about certain things. Have you even seen the trailer for it, Joe, or sort of seen clips on telly or anything?
I've seen the trailer.
It's not really a spoiler, but at one point you do get to see an ape on horseback firing a machine gun. So you're like,
dual wielding machine guns.
what the hell? I need to see this movie. And then actually during the movie you're like, this is the coolest thing ever. You know, fuck Pacific Rim with robots and monsters. You want to see apes riding horses firing machine
You
guns.
like it more than that, you'd say?
Yeah, I thought it was
it's probably my favourite movie so far this year.
I was thinking it's probably close to being my favourite this year.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about it.
It's definitely not Godzilla and X-Men down.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
Like I've got sort of probably a top 4 or 5. It's Godzilla, X-Men, Captain America, and
I didn't realise till last night how much better the CGI was, because I thought the other one looked good, but then my wife had never watched Rise of the Planet of the Apes. She said she'd seen a bit of the shitty Tim Burton one, and that kind of put her off.
I told you that's the same with me, sort of thing.
I was kept saying to her, like, I never wasn't that impressed with the trailer for Rise of the Planet of the Apes. I thought, no, I don't know, the last remake attempt was shit, and then I watched it and thought, this is fucking good. So I've been trying to convince her to watch it, and she saw the trailer for it the other day and said, like, it looked really good. So I'm like, right, let's start watching it. So we watched like 45 minutes of it, and it was like, sat there thinking, you know what, the CGI can tell it's nowhere near as good as the new one. The new one was
absolutely flawless.
Some of the close-ups of the apes, you think, that's a fucking ape they've just taught to speak.
Yeah.
But it was, I think you forgot you were watching a CGI character.
Yeah,
it was just like, that's Caesar, that's it, and he's an ape, and I'm not thinking,
You didn't
it's a bit pixely or
no.
Well, that's the thing, is it like you look at a human and you know it's a human.
Yeah.
If it was a CGI human, you'd be like, oh, it's a CGI human. But you look at a human and they act, and you looked at Caesar and you're like, you just took it for what it was.
Yeah.
You didn't question that it was an ape or a highly evolved ape that managed to talk and have intellectual thoughts and whatnot, and you were just like, I believe it. There's no way that I don't believe this.
Well, Andy Serkis really sold it as well.
Yeah.
Amazing.
His performance.
But a lot of things with a heavy CGI, you look at it and go, that's a good CGI character, but that's it, you won't really get fully invested in that character because you're like, yeah, it's good CGI. That's
Plus, it just goes to show how developed the motion capture software is now.
In 3 years, from was it 2011, the last one?
Well,
Imaginarium do that one as well.
I should imagine so.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but yeah, just it looked great in 2011's Rise, but it looked so much better in this one. Whether they had more money to do it, whether people were backing it a bit more because they knew.
Real.
It's just the technology always was advancing, isn't it?
And another good thing as well is you don't often get to see like CGI furry characters get wet with their matted fur and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
cool.
There was a lot of rain throughout it, and you were just like, yeah, looks real, looks absolutely amazing.
Is the first one on Netflix? Do we know?
No, it's not. No.
Okay.
Well, it's recently on telly. You might be able to get it on
Yeah,
demand.
you can pick it up like a few quid DVD.
I know it's like
You said you
£5 brand new on Amazon, so you
yeah,
better pick it up.
Yeah.
It's
It's something you need to do, and then I think you will watch it, and then you'll
James
go.
Franco's in it, the first one.
The story is something that I found like. It was one of those films after the next day I was at work and I was thinking about the film.
Well, the new one.
Yeah, and
Same.
it's not like there's so many films that you watch and once you finish watching that, you're gone. But it stayed with me.
Yeah.
I did the same thing with X-Men Days of Future Past. Like the next day I was just thinking about certain bits and I was like, oh yeah, that was really clever. I really enjoyed
was
that
a
bit, and I
great
was doing
film.
the same thing with Dawn, and I just found myself sort of going into like a little dream state, just going, oh, that bit is really good, wasn't it? Oh, that's really
When we was
clever. The way
online,
they did it.
was it the Friday or something, and when we got chucking lines from it back at each other, and it's like, oh, I hadn't done that for a while.
We just shout and go at each other.
It was like, ape will not kill ape or something, and he's like messaging back, you are no ape or something. It's fucking awesome.
Just like, oh, I'm gonna go now. Go!
I mean, there's loads of this we'll probably discuss in
I think
Yeah,
they
you should
kept,
do-
also,
yeah, you should
they
do
kept the
Spoiler.
the dialogue between the apes down to a minimum, which I kind of think added to that sort of realism to it.
Yeah,
Because they weren't having like full-on conversations.
About philosophy and stuff.
Yeah,
that's my only
they were
nitpick.
communicating.
I've got a
somewhat.
nitpick on that, but I'll leave it for if we do a...
Do you know if he's at the Lux at all?
I think it is.
I
it will be,
heard they're getting at the Lux.
He's got that and something else. He's got two films.
They did
up
have
there.
Transformers as well.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
Have you seen Transformers?
I've seen Transformers.
Oh God, have you
and
seen it?
No.
I'm
No,
currently.
but Amy went to see it. so I
Oh
can,
God, it's not a film I really watched.
I'm currently in production of a quick review of Transformers: Age of Extinction, so I'll let you guys know
seen
about
what I
that.
did there?
one brief thing, because I know you and I discussed this the other day,
Yeah.
and we was talking about the irritating boyfriend. Did you have an issue with his accent and couldn't place it until they told you where he was from?
Yeah.
Amy said this. Remember, she went, we've got a relative from who's an Australian who was down, and she sat there going, is he supposed to be Australian? And then it was like, oh, he's Irish? What the fuck? And they couldn't, no one knew he was Irish until they said.
Yeah, there's a particular scene when Mark Wahlberg gets introduced to this boyfriend because he's got a daughter and she's, sneaking out to find this boyfriend, and Mark Wahlberg's a bit like, you can't have a boyfriend, you got to graduate from school, you're my little girl and your mum, classic,
like that.
classic
Same.
cliche fucking Hollywood thing, The dad's looking after the girl and he can't cook, so she's got to cook and he's trying to be in there, and it's like, oh yeah. So they get introduced, and then the boyfriend's like talking, and you're like, hey, come again? Australian? No.
Yeah.
English? No. And then he goes, oh, listen here, Lucky Charms. You're like, Irish, I get it now. Kind of.
I think the whole reason for him to be Irish is so they could call him Lucky Charms.
Yeah, get some
green.
more fucking product placement in there.
Did he
Jesus
have green?
Christ.
Did he have green on that?
Yeah.
Green
It's
sauce.
dressed up.
Was he sponsoring a new Leprechaun movie?
No, but the thing
Let me
is,
tell you here.
the thing is,
Jesus!
speaking of sponsoring, like the first thing that the Irish guy says, yeah, I'm a rally driver, I've just been recently picked up by Red Bull. It's like, chill out, product placement.
Yeah. The Transformers, I bet they got Coca-Cola on.
I'm surprised you didn't
enjoy Coca-Cola.
Optimus Prime.
They're having a massive fight, and all of a sudden it goes to slide. He's like,
I wouldn't put it past them.
It's like, oh, the Autobots don't run on fuel, we've got to fill them with Pepsi!
that's why it's all fast, and you don't know what's going on because if you slow it down, there's loads of like Reebok, Nike, Adidas. They've got a pair of like, trainers on for 1 second, then they're off the next one.
How old are you, Joe? I don't think Nike,
Reebok.
Adidas and Reebok have done a product placement since Leon the Professional.
Still going? Adidas is still going, isn't it? Reebok.
No, they're still going. But,
You got product placements like Mountain Dew and Pepsi and Coke and
stuff like
Victoria's
that.
Secret.
Monster and Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, oh,
I'm
man.
down for that product placement, that's fine.
No, there's the most blatant piece of
right.
product placement I've ever seen. Basically, like some robots, you don't really know what's happening. It's all like a CGI thing,
crashing.
and then there's like
Crashing.
a bus that just says Victoria Secret, and they come crashing through it, and it like lingers on it for about a minute, and you're like, this is getting kind of uncomfortable.
Wow, that
I'm
bad.
just looking at Victoria's Secret, like, because I obviously thought, oh, the boyfriends are going to take their girlfriends to watch Transformers, and there'll be one little bit, and they'll go, oh, I fancy buying some new underwear.
Yeah. God.
Anyway, I'm going to do a quick route, or have done. I've shot it, I've edited it, I've rendered it, I've just got to upload it, so maybe in the next couple of days, or even before this podcast comes out, there will be a Age of Extinction, because a lot of Age of like movies now, aren't they? People are saying, is the next Planet of the Apes going to be Age of the Planet of the Apes? Because there's obviously...
I was thinking War of the Planet of the Apes might be.
Yeah, that sounds like it. Probably.
Or Rise of the
you-
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
You guys should get together when you can and do a spoiler for that.
Yeah, if we can, I think we will do.
Yeah.
If not, then we'll just discuss it a bit more in depth.
I'm probably going to go watch it again.
Yeah, I'd happily watch it again.
Yeah, I was tempted.
Okay.
Now, speaking of Age of movies, it was recently Comic-Con this past weekend, and basically Marvel, DC, and all the kind of the nerdy people got together, and they did all their release and all did their announcements and whatnot, and they showed a few teasers for Avengers 2 Age of Ultron.
Right.
And they released loads of other information, and I found a thing that says 10 things we learned from the Marvel panel at Comic-Con. So do you guys want to hear a few things what was announced?
Always up to Marvel stuff,
Yeah. So number one, we've talked about it before, Ant-Man. Evangeline Lilly has been confirmed for Ant-Man, but apparently she's not even read the script yet. But why wouldn't you just get on board?
It's like, do you want to go on this Marvel film? Yep.
Yeah, it's her character's been confirmed. She'll be playing Hope Van Dyne, who's the daughter of Hank Pym, who's been played by Michael Douglas.
Right, okay, I don't know that.
And which might suggest that her mother is Jane Van Dyne.
Well, Hank Pym Hank Pym was Giant Man, I think. Then
I'm not quite sure. I'm not really up on my Ant-Man stuff.
I'm sure Hank was Giant Man.
But I think Jane Van Dyne was the Wasp. So maybe Evangeline Lilly's character is going to be some sort of superhero with superpowers.
That's was Ant-Man their son then?
Maybe.
Oh right, okay. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know enough about it,
No.
so we'll have to wait. We'll have to wait for a little while to find out what's going on there. And in more Ant-Man news, they've announced the villain. Have you guys ever watched House of Cards?
The Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
No, it's something I've been meaning to.
Yeah. Well, a character out of that. The actor out of it is called Corey Stoll, and he's just been announced as the villain for Ant-Man, who's going to play Yellow Jacket. So that's the second piece of news.
That's not very threatening.
Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket. Oh, he works at Butlins.
Red coat, yeah, make red coat.
Yellow coat.
More Ant-Man news.
Oh, that would be quite fearsome, actually.
Push 9 up.
Come on, do the con now. Fuck off, you twat.
Number 3, they've already
This is my boomstick.
Oh, I've not put my phone on. Come on, it's Army of Darkness. Someone had that.
How professional.
Let me come
that would
on.
have been
Professional.
brilliant. If I'd have finished all these 10, that'd have gone off. That would have been an amazing segue, but...
It's my wife's fault. She's putting photos of me on Facebook for some reason. Anyway.
Number 3, they've already released an Ant-Man teaser, although they haven't even started shooting the movie.
How'd they do that then?
Well, I suppose there's a lot of CGI.
There's a picture of an ant and a man.
Yeah, there's an ant, there's Paul Rudd just going, hey, I'm Paul Rudd.
And that's it.
And number 4, apparently it's going to be funny. So I guess they want to take it in more of a humour-based kind of thing.
Well, the Guardians is going humour.
Yeah.
I think the trailers have given the impression that there's going to be a lot of humour in it, but I think...
I read up a quick review.
Not my quick review.
No.
I haven't seen it yet.
And they gave a rave review, and they did say it was funny.
Okay.
So.
Well, a lot of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is quite funny, but it's just whether they're going to take it that step farther and be like, right, Captain America was an action film with a little hint of comedy in there. Iron Man had a lot of satirical kind of comedy in there.
Let's get that balance right.
Yeah, where it's probably like Ant-Man, they're like, right, let's just
I don't
go.
think they're going to make it a slapstick.
Yeah, they don't want to make it too cheesy.
Hey, look at me, I'm an ant now, and
Oh,
I'm
Rocket
big.
Raccoon slipped on a banana peel.
I'm an ant, and I'm a man. I'm going to call myself
I think that's
Yellow
going to be one
Jacket.
worth viewing in 3D, because they did trailer that when we saw Dawn of the Rise of the Planet of the Apes. And it was like, fuck, that looks really good.
Yeah.
Like the 3D, and that was like, some space battle stuff. And it's like, that's going to be a 3D watch.
Excellent stuff. Now, Elizabeth Olsen, who we saw in Godzilla, she's in Avengers 2 Age of Ultron as Scarlet Witch. And apparently she nearly made a boo-boo, because I don't know whether you guys know about the Fox Marvel and the Disney Marvel. They've got a slight contention about the word mutant. Obviously, because X-Men, they're all mutants, and in the Avengers sort of universe, it's all, superheroes or, kind of a specially enhanced
You can't
guy.
copyright the word mutant, though.
Well,
surely.
apparently they have, and she was talking on a panel, and she was like, yeah, now there's a magic mutated person.
Yeah.
And it was a bit like...
That's a bit lame, though, to say you can't
It
be
is a little
mutant.
bit.
Yeah. Number 6, we mentioned Andy Serkis in our little brief discussion of
I think I'm
Dawn.
in love with him a little bit now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been watching a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and just the way he talks, I'm like, You are a cool guy.
Did you see the
I want to be your friend.
Did you see the one where he took the boy's cystic fibrosis to his studio, to Imaginarium?
No.
And he spent like 2 hours with him. It's like, I love you even more.
So other potential homework for Sean then is The Cottage, or that one I couldn't remember with
I've
James
seen
Bell,
The Cottage.
The war. Alright, okay. The war thing that I couldn't remember.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Where he's
Yeah. Anyway.
Watch
So-
Hour? No, not Watch Hour.
No, it's Dead something.
Dead.
It's annoying because Amy will tell me straight away.
Dead Watch.
Death Watch, that's
Death
it,
Watch.
yeah.
I knew it was
That's
called.
it.
Anyway, number 6 in the top 10 things that Marvel announced. Andy Serkis is going to be in Avengers
circus.
2 Age of Ultron, but apparently he's not going to be doing any mocap.
Oh,
It's just going to be a guy,
Oh, cool.
which
Okay.
could be quite interesting.
That'd be cool.
But then, he may just be like, hey, I'm a guy, and then like something happens, you're like, hey, I'm a CGI guy now. Hey, look, I'm all mocappy, but I was a human for a little while.
Yeah, for about 2 seconds.
Number 7, Thor's hammer is really, really heavy. Apparently, in the teaser that they showed, the Avengers are taking a bit of time off, they kick Loki's butt, he's in prison or whatever, and they're just kind of kicking around, just being like, what should we do now? Don't know. And Thor's like, look at my hammer, it's really heavy. See who can lift it up. And, Iron Man's like, yeah, come on. And then, everybody else is having a go. And then Captain America apparently budges the hammer a little bit. So maybe it's hinting that Captain America is worthy of Mjolnir.
Because they've got a new Captain America now, I think, in the comics.
Yeah,
They've killed him off and now there's a black guy in it.
Yeah,
It's
it's Falcon has taken over that.
Oh, is it? Oh,
yeah.
right, okay. Oh, I didn't
So
know.
which
Cool.
may lead into Captain America 3. There's a lot of rumours going
Yeah,
around
yeah.
saying,
That'd be interesting.
because Anthony Mackie, who played the Falcon
Falcon,
in The Winter Soldier, is black, of course, and if they're going to copy the comics,
that'd be
they could take it in that
interesting.
direction as well.
That'd be cool.
Because a lot of people are like, alright, they're going to do the death of Captain America, and then, the Winter Soldier is going to become Captain America, and they're like, oh, maybe not now, we don't know where it's going to go. Is he going to be black? Is he going to be white? Or could be Chinese, could be Andy Serkis for all we know. Number 8, apparently it's going to be quite dark, which I think is quite good, a lot of sort of fatalistic stuff, because they showed a picture of Captain America's shield broken into pieces.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that could hint
You
at...
can't break vibranium.
Exactly, and it's like, how did that happen? Who did it? Did Thor's hammer break it? Did, Ultron break it? Does Thanos just come down and just be like,
I
rah?
completely blocked Thor's hammer in Avengers,
Yeah, I was
didn't
about to
it?
say,
So that's kind of like, boom, and knocked them all out.
Well, that's not Thor.
Destroys trees and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, that's fucking cool.
Number 9, we talked about this quite a while ago. Josh Brolin is Thanos, and apparently he turned up at Comic-Con just with a massive Infinity Gauntlet on, just be like, I'm Thanos! We're like, you're cool. And
That's a good choice.
number 10, Guardians 2 is on the way, and they're looking to release that
Fucking hell,
on
I
the
haven't seen
28th.
the first one, yeah.
28th of July 2017. So a lot of good stuff happening in the Marvel camp. We talked about it last week, I think, saying that there's
with the
a
release
lot more
dates,
to come.
yeah.
Like we've got at least 5 more years of movies to come in the Marvel franchise.
Is Guardians
so.
out yet?
Guardians comes
Friday
out
or Thursday?
this Thursday, but the podcast goes live on a Friday, so it came out yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And that will mean that yesterday I had my vasectomy. I'm hoping to get my doctor. I'm hoping to get the doctor to put on it like, take it easy, put your feet up, go and watch Guardians of the Galaxy. If I can get it prescribed,
Yeah.
sorted.
One cinema ticket, put your feet up, grab a nice
Well, that-
slushy and pop
Yeah.
on
Kenny,
your- on
Kenny,
your nose.
take your
Amy's
Go.
been telling me no though, because she's like, well, I want to watch it. But I'm like, yeah, but if I get it prescribed, I can't go.
Can he borrow your GoPro when he has the operation?
I thought you meant to go to the cinema. That's
Okay,
highly
yeah.
illegal, Joe. You can't take
No, when he has the operation, can he borrow your GoPro? That'd be amazing.
What, you want to see Mark's
I'd
testicles?
rather-
Right.
Yeah, all like chopped up.
You want to see my freshly shaved testicles? I've got to shave everything. Proper shave, not just like a courtesy trim.
I'll go to
Look at my balls!
go to Sean's in town, the barbers, they'll do it for you. It's going to be a wet shave, put a little towel on it.
Did I come around with the mirror afterwards? Right, so they have the pictures on the wall with all the different coins and the styles.
You
Gets
have to have
his-
some trust to
gets
let
his
a man
leather
go
belt
in
out.
your nuts with a fucking
Yeah.
a razor.
You ready?
No, it's not actually, they ain't got to shave the balls. I don't know why we're getting into this. Just the groin area, it's got to be
He ain't got to be
completely...
worried if he hurts his balls. He's having them chopped off.
Not having them chopped off. Not...
Slice. We can do it with some bricks. Put some bricks out back.
Now, in a bit more Avengers 2 news...
I was going to stamp on them, but I think his idea of bricks as
The only
well.
way
It's got an American History X. I'll put your balls on the curb.
Can't stump your
The only
body.
way it hurts you is if I get my finger caught between the bricks when I'm doing it.
What the hell are you guys talking about?
They're talking about ways of destroying material. That one destroyed.
Speaking of destroyed... Nah, I've got no way to go into this. But we're still talking about Avengers 2 Age of Ultron. At Comic-Con, they showed a teaser or a trailer, and people are like, oh, I need to see it because there's loads of cool stuff. There's, you know, them kicking around. There's Captain America not lifting Mjolnir, but like shifting Mjolnir a bit. There's the broken shield. Apparently there's like a Hulkbuster armor fighting the Hulk. You know, there's loads of cool stuff. You know, Quicksilver being Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch being Scarlet Witch and stuff, and people are like, when's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? Apparently, it's still not gonna come out for at least another couple of months. So, you know, which is really, really disappointing. But considering the movie doesn't come out for like another 10 months or so, you know, we can still hang on. I think I can just about still hang on because Guardians of the Galaxy is coming out.
And there have been some trailers released for something we've been waiting for quite a while.
Hit me with it.
Tusk.
Yes.
Or did we mention that the other week?
We've mentioned it quite a few times.
No, it's a teaser poster. The trailer's only just come out, hasn't it?
That's right. Yeah, that aired at Comic-Con as well. And everybody watched it?
Yeah.
Excellent.
It did make me think very Human Centipede.
Yeah, same here, straight away.
But don't give a shit. I like Human Centipede.
Yeah, I'd still like to see it. But that's what I got big time, Human Centipede, straight away. But no, I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
In fact, I saw someone had tweeted the Human Centipede director Tom Six today, I think it was, to say like, "Oh, does this remind you of Human Centipede?"
Yeah.
He retweeted.
He even says it. I see a thing where Kevin Smith put a thing up today.
It's going to be
He put like I don't know, what was it, like Frankenstein has sex with Human Centipede or something like that, mixed with what was the other film? Misery. Put Misery in.
Okay.
And then
it's got a little fat Haley Joel Osment in there.
Yeah, he's like,
that's exactly what I thought.
He's well fat now.
Whoa, he's put on.
I'll see a video of him a while ago.
It looks like he sits in his room rolling multi-sided dice and he's little like, I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Hello? Yeah, I've got a role for you, okay.
To fucking Pizza Hut.
Maybe bulked up for the role, you know, he's meant to be a podcaster, he probably just sits around all day.
That's exactly what I've done.
Yeah. You're getting in the role.
I've shoved up for podcasting.
I'll see another trailer as well. I don't know if anyone's seen it, from Mad Max.
I saw that today.
Yeah, I really watched it today as well.
I haven't had a chance, so I see it came from a Facebook feed.
I've got some info about it.
I really don't know what to think about it.
Leave it with you then, Matt. I thought it looked cool. I really cool.
I like the look of it, but it did look like they've just took one sequence of the film and just shown clips of that. And then a few
like a huge part of it, like you're saying
like
there.
That big chase, which looks like could have been the start of the film.
Yeah, that's what I see someone put a comment saying, cheers for showing the whole film, basically.
It's not out here until the 15th of May next year. And it's directed by George Miller, who directed the previous three Mad Max films, which is
I love that.
But I didn't know this until I looked up today. He also directed Witches of Eastwick, Babe, Pig in the City, and both Happy Feet movies. Which is a bit fucking weird.
That's crazy.
But apparently over 80% of the effects are going to be practical, and it will look like that in the trailer. Proper old school stunt.
Yeah, that's what I want, I think. I think the
like,
fans want that.
Yeah, I want that. Yeah.
Fans want that. No, I thought it looked awesome.
Although Mad Max 2 was probably the best.
Yeah.
Mad Max 2 was fucking awesome.
What I got from the trailer is it was a bit dusty. That's all I could see. It was just like dust everywhere. I was like, I can't really see what's going on. That kind of looks like Tom Hardy, but he's shrouded in dust.
Well, it's
that's what the originals.
Post-apocalyptic.
That's what the originals are like. They're all filthy.
Because I think they filmed it. Was it Namibia or somewhere like that?
Yeah, you've seen the originals.
I'd probably seen them like when I was younger.
It's back in the day when Mel Gibson still had an Australian.
Yeah. One of his first
marbles.
One was good.
Probably,
I thought 2 was really good.
What was Beyond Thunderdome? Was that
That's a fucking Tina Turner one.
That's the third one.
We don't talk about that.
That's the third one, isn't it?
The third one, yeah.
No, I like the one they're in the battle
Number 2's the one with...
it's just a child, it's just a child.
Number 2's the one with the Lord Humongous.
Oh, yeah.
Like the big muscly guy with the big mask on, is it? Yeah.
Because the first one's really cheaply done, in it? First one.
But it's still got really good stunts in it. The cast was awesome.
Yeah.
But number 2,
no, it's great. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It should be cool. Should be cool.
Now, going back to Tusk, did you guys think Michael Parks looked absolutely mental?
Oh, it just sold me. It sold it for me.
I was just like, you look completely unhinged, completely mental, and I thought, this is going to be brilliant.
7 point one coach has said.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, when it was announced that Justin Long was going to play, like, the main protagonist, I was a bit like, I don't know, is he a bit sort of... He reminds me of the kind of guy that would be in maybe like a rom-com or something, is like your nerdy little brother, just be like, hey, I'm a bit funny, but eventually I'll get the girl.
He was in
Jeepers Creepers?
Dodgeball. We don't talk about Jeepers Creepers.
He was in that though, wasn't he?
We don't talk about that because the director's a paedophile,
Yeah, I know.
convicted. So there we go.
He went to prison. He went to prison.
Yeah,
for it,
yeah.
He went to prison.
He done
for it,
a-
didn't
So he makes shit films as well.
He done a film. I can't remember what it was, and it had a boy in it, and he then filmed himself
It's all on the internet.
doing stuff with his kids.
That's all
So-
right.
But he went to prison.
Yeah,
for
don't
it,
watch
didn't
it. Because you'll go to prison
He's
too.
been
He did.
convicted for
He
it,
did.
and when he came out, Disney hired him to do that film called Powder, which was about a young boy,
I've
and he was
seen
all
that,
short,
the
he had no
albino.
hair on
I've
him.
seen
The
that.
albino. I've seen
He
the
directed
albino.
that.
boy.
He'd done that after he'd been at Disney, got him to like.
That was the
That's
albino
Disney.
boy.
It
It was
wasn't
like
it?
Lance
Yeah,
Henriksen was in that, weren't he? But I don't know whether people knew.
he had powers, didn't he? The albino.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have been like, hang on, you've suddenly given this like young boy, and you've done him all hairless, which is kind of like.
Well, they're making
making
Jeepers
it-
Creepers 3.
Apparently, but that's been on the cards for quite a while.
Really
I hope you
could
don't.
not give a
'cause
shit.
Waiting for him to get out of prison.
They were shit, and he's a cunt. He's a paedophile, and therefore a cunt.
Simply.
Don't watch it. Anyway.
So what we're talking about, Justin Long, yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if he'd be right for it, but if there's going to be, a mixture of comedy and you want to like that character, I think he'll actually be quite good, and he had a bit of a weird moustache as
Yeah,
well.
I like
I kind of like the
It's
bit
awesome.
when he got drugged and that fall he done. It was
Yeah,
like, that was
that's
kind
what
of
I was about to
convincing.
say.
Yeah.
He was committed to that film
Yeah.
because it was just.
It wasn't just that his legs, as his legs
It's like
buckled,
he
they then
slipped
slid
away
out
the
under him.
table.
Yeah.
It was like, that was a good fall. Yeah.
No.
So definitely looking
Good
forward to
film,
it,
yeah.
and apparently it's going to be released end of September. Whether that's a UK or a US release, I'm not quite certain just yet, but
It's not long, is it? Really?
I think I'll definitely be taking a trip. If it happens
Yeah,
to
yeah.
come over here in the UK, I'll be going to see it in
Yeah,
the cinema
definitely,
in a
definitely.
heartbeat for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely.
Mad Max, it's a bit dusty, so I'll wait to see.
I probably will because I'm a fan of the other ones.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
it.
And if it's got the same director and it's not it's not really a remake, I don't think it's gonna.
I like Tom Hardy, so yeah, I'm sold on that.
What Chud might not know, we've had some celebrity contact, haven't we?
From
a director.
Yeah.
Not Scarlett Johansson.
No, film director Christopher Hatton, who you've heard of, haven't you?
Christopher Hansen.
No, you haven't. Okay. You were not surprised. He done a film which we reviewed called Battle of the Damned. It starred Dolph Lundgren and some robots and some zombies.
Not zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah, not wrong.
And what really got us in it was Dolph Lundgren's character was called Major Max Gatling. And he's like, you can't not fucking
Sounds
love
like
that.
a winner, isn't he?
But he's only just the director, Christopher Hatton, and the writer and director of it. He's only just seen our review, so he messaged us back, said he really liked it, thought it was funny. And then I looked to see what he was working on. See his script in a Chinese animated movie called Gula City. So I kind of just messaged him back to ask him about it, and he sent us a reply to say he's just scripting it. He's not really involved in any other way. It's about a privileged monkey and a pig that works in maintenance, and they team up to save their home, which is an island called Gula, and it's sinking in the ocean. But he's just sort of scripted it. Doesn't know really what else as such. But he's shooting a new project. Not until the next spring is he starting to film it. So I think we've almost got an exclusive.
Ooh.
And it's called The Regulators. And it's, in his words, it's a prison actioner, and it's a genuinely incredible true story, and it'll be very hard and brutal with great drama. So I shall message him about that and try
Yeah,
and keep on track with what's going on. I like the
Does he
sound
want
of
us-
that.
Does he want us to act in it?
If he's watched our review, probably not. But,
We're good at being extras.
Yeah,
Sit in the
yeah.
background.
oh yeah, in the background. Where
Joe can be in the prison being bummed. He don't mind that. He's a
He'll
real.
do it for real.
He's a real method actor.
Someone can take cook in the mouth.
In the mouth.
Amateur.
And I'll stand in for Dolph Lundgren.
My friend said the other day.
I'll just be a bicep of his, just me.
My friend said the other day, you done a lawyer advert or something. I was like, what? She said, I went to.
Oh,
went to the,
they're showing it at the
Yeah,
new
yeah.
cinema.
She was at the look. She went to.
Frasier.
Oh, when I saw it, when I went, it didn't show the clip we was in.
Yeah, no, they said they see us. And
When I went, it was
watched
what's his face, your mate. He was in the Lux one. The scene where it's
Yeah.
got him and the girl buying the house.
And where are they showing that? What's
That was at the light.
Oh right.
I tell you what, I was watching that.
That's cool.
And I saw the girl, and I said, "Is that the girl from Deluxe?"
Yeah, yeah.
And Joe was like, "No, it's definitely not." And then I read it in the Citizen or the paper. I was
it
like,
is.
"It fucking is her." I've got to tell Joe.
Because I was
that.
watching
Unless
it
they
on-
went
Fucking
I
wrong.
think they might have gone to the Lux, or maybe in the Lux one. Who knows? That may be a different one.
Because when I watched Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, my dad, that advert come on, I'm like, I'm in this fucking commercial. And it's like, oh, it's a short version. No, I'm not.
No, I'm not. Dad, look at me! I'm playing Fruit Machine
It's
talking
like,
to Joe.
wow, when they put it in 3D.
Yeah, no, they said they see us. So I don't know if they went to the Lux or the.
Maybe
They showed it
Lux
like-
I
watch
didn't see
the other
you
one.
guys in the light one. The light ones.
No, they watched
the
the
guy
lawyer
looking at
one.
the house.
They didn't
Yeah,
stay with
yeah.
the Lux. That they said. that-
Yeah, and then when Amy went to
Didn't know
see
you did that
Transformers, she
advert,
said it was
so-
that same one, and then just
They didn't even know anything about it. I never told them.
Frasier and door bands.
So
And
yeah, they must
Yeah.
have seen that. Yeah.
product placement.
Oh, as bad as Michael Bay.
Ah. Speaking of Michael Bay, has anybody been
we have to?
watching any of the TNMT releases that have been releasing
only
loads
the
of
first
different
teaser I
trailers?
watched, something
Yeah,
like that.
see,
I'm just scared
I've
he's
seen
going to
two.
destroy
I've seen the one with
childhood
Splinter.
memories.
I've seen the one with the shoe split, the second one.
I just saw the first trailer. There was a bit of them sliding down some snow, and then one of them first revealing themselves to not revealing himself. That'd be weird. Check out the turtle cock.
Turtle head.
Turtles unshelled
Turtle
and
head.
uncut.
Turtle head.
Yeah, and I keep watching these trailers. I don't normally watch a lot of trailers if I'm interested in the movie, but I keep watching the trailers for something to stand out and go, it might be good. But it never does, and I'm like, I really don't know. I'm completely on the fence about it, and I can't decide whether it's going to be kind of completely, I don't know, just completely weird
I know what
and
you mean.
abstract from anything you know as turtles, because they look kind of weird, but maybe that's okay because, you know, who knows what a mutant turtle looks like, you know, not me. And
Yeah, but it just looked a big CGI mess. And even looking at it, you're like, hasn't got any of the charm of the original. With
That's the thing,
bite.
yeah.
Even if they were shitty fucking puppet things, especially by today's standards, but it was like, it still looked more interesting than.
It was Beebop and Rocksteady.
Ah!
I know what you're going to
Crank
say.
me in
You've
it,
read
you
the
know.
same article.
Yeah. If TNMT does any good in the cinemas, if they make the money back and people enjoy it, apparently Beebop and Rocksteady are rumoured alongside Casey Jones to be in TNM2.
Jones.
Because they haven't
Awesome.
actually been in any films, have they, Beebop and Rocksteady?
No.
Casey Jones was.
Yeah, he was in the second.
Weren't they in the other
90s
Secret
one.
of the Use or whatever?
No,
Well,
that
they
wasn't.
named
There was
them
just, it was kind of like
Just
a
a
snapping
random.
turtle and
Yeah, and like a
can't remember
wolf
what
or
they're
something.
called. Razor and
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a wolf, wasn't it? That's right.
Yeah, so I would watch that because I quite like Beebop and Rocksteady as characters,
Yeah.
but maybe that's the charm from the cartoon. Like, I really liked Optimus Prime as a cartoon. I like Megatron as a cartoon. I like Bumblebee as a cartoon. Not in a movie though. They're all knobs.
So it's like, it's going to be it just looks like a big CGI mess.
Well, it's Michael
And then-
Bay, and it's going to be a cluster.
And it'll be product placement now for Domino's. I'm going to
yeah.
have the fucking pizza
Yeah.
or whatever.
Hey Domino's, I want an anchovy pizza.
I don't think I'd go to the cinema for it.
I'm still on the fence about it. I think my curiosity is getting the best of me. It's a bit
Yeah.
like, go on, just go watch it. Just
I'll
to
let
see.
you see it first, and then if you say, "Oh, it's awesome," I'll go and check
It was
it
the
out.
same thing with Transformers. I knew it was going to be dog shit, but I went to see it anyway. I'm a glutton for punishment, sitting in there for 2.5 hours going, I hate this movie!
Were people around you enjoying it?
Not really. I think people just be like, when's it going to end?
Everyone's crying.
When's it going to... Oh, that's a nice bit of CGI. When's it going to end?
Is it another
Yeah.
super long? The others are 2 hours plus.
It's longer than the... I think they gradually got longer as they went on. Like the first one was like 2 hours, then it's 2:10, 2:20. I think it was like 2.5, maybe even more, like 165 minutes. It's like, it's crazy long for what you got going. It's like a super simplistic story, but you're dragging it out. It's like, oh my god.
I see a video where a person, these people, they watch all of them together at the
I've
same
heard of
time,
that, yeah.
and it is amazing. They start the same.
Yeah.
They have the same voiceover. How they do it all, the same sort of theme.
Beat for beat, innit?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy how it works.
It's like, oh, we get introduced to
Yeah.
some sort of object that's
You
going
wanna
to
check
threaten
it out?
mankind.
Check
Oh,
it
look,
out.
we've got a quirky special agent
Yeah,
guy.
but it's all the same sort of thing. Where it's
Oh,
just
and
the
Amy
same
was-
idea.
What Amy was telling me about it was like, innit, Mark Wahlberg is poor and he's a good guy and he's an inventor, but his inventions are shit. And then there's the bad guy who's an inventor and his inventions are work. And it's like the good guy inventor versus the bad guy inventor, and it's like,
And he breathes
and then
heavy.
the bad guy would eventually become good, and sort of.
He
And
just
they-
breathes
they-
really
and
heavy.
And then I said to her, like, was it a natural progression of character? And she's like,
No.
no, probably not.
It's one of them things
I kind
where-
of phased in and out of the film.
Yeah, but
I think Mark Wahlberg, well, as an actor, is quite. I think he's a victim of poor casting choices sometimes.
Yeah.
Because you see him in some films and he's really good. And
Wasn't he in The Happening?
Yeah,
That's him with
I
that
think-
shitty Shyamalan
Yeah, I
thing.
think
where,
we-
like,
I
we're all-
don't think
Shyamalan,
he's in The
Malan.
Departed. Jack Nicholson's in
No,
that,
I haven't,
Leo
no.
DiCaprio.
That's a good film.
We've got it on
He's
DVD,
in
but
that,
I
and
haven't
he's a
watched
Good
it.
film.
Cut
Matt
of that,
Damon's in
he's
it as
really
well.
good
isn't
in
he?
it, yeah.
Matt Damon as well, yeah.
I think Amy bought it on DVD, but I've never
I just,
watched
he
it.
just breathes so heavy. He's like, I'm out of breath. Listen to him, seriously. Listen
not
to him how he
nowadays.
breathes.
He's all.
No, seriously, all the
butched up.
time. He breathes really heavy. It's really weird how he does it.
He's
It's
acting,
horrible.
Joe.
No, he just does it all the time.
He's
Seriously.
breathing, Joe. Let him breathe, man. Come on.
Check it out, seriously. It's
Mark
so annoying.
I'm not going to Google Mark Wahlberg
No,
breathing. then. None of us sound better.
Any film you watch, it's really heavy.
Leave Mark Wahlberg alone! Let him breathe!
Maybe he's asthmatic or something, and you're like,
It's crazy.
picking on him. You fucking asthma racist.
Asthma racist.
But I'm going to do a shit segue now.
Speaking of racism.
It's been a mad racist toward asthma. No. Saying about Michael Bay films, which is CGI nonsense fest full of explosions and fire. Did you see I had some sort of fire-related thing happen to me Sunday?
Oh yeah, I
So you
saw
put
the
something
video.
up, yeah.
Did you see the video I put?
Yeah.
See, the video I put was after I'd phoned for the emergency service.
I was about to say, nice to know you're filming it.
I dialed the new emergency number to make sure it was, because 999's being phased out. It's going to be 112 to put us in line with.
I didn't fucking know that. I would have been
Yeah.
shit.
No, it still works.
Oh.
But they are because I think 112 is Europe, and they're going to phase us in with that mainly because 999 is easy for a phone to press that in your pocket, and it happens a lot. They get a lot of false rings phones in pockets, so they are going to switch to 112. So I dialed that, and it worked. I'm like, oh, brilliant! It is.
I thought he was going to be like, no, Domino's Pizza. Oh, fuck!
Basically, what happened was about 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'd wake up and wife was awake, and she's like, I can hear someone shouting outside, and I can hear this other noise as well. And it's like, oh fuck, it's raining. Like me and Sean were going to go to the car boot, and Joe was until he wussed out. But
What's that? Got back problems.
yeah. But it was like, oh fuck, it sounds like it's pissing it down. That's cancelled the car boot. Open the windows, and then there's like a massive 20-foot wall of flame in between these houses.
The opposite of rain.
It was right up to the eve at that point. It was like, oh fuck.
I bet you're like, apocalypse!
Yeah, it's like, there's a big fire there, I better phone emergency services. Apparently it was a shed.
Oh.
That's all it was. There's a shed in between the houses, but that proper went up.
Yeah. From the video you put on Facebook, I was like, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that was after it had died down. There was one poor bloke in his back garden leaning over his fence with his hose pipe. Like, I'll get this.
I'm going to assume you wouldn't have been the first person to call the fire.
No.
I'm assuming the people trying to put it out.
But I don't know how long it had been going, because Amy thought someone was shouting help. So I was like, I'll just quickly fucking phone it in. And they're like, yeah, they're on their way. But it still didn't hear any sirens, I guess, because of the time of day. There was no traffic on the roads. I'm like, I can't hear them yet. And then it was like, I was dying down, then you see water spraying up the side of the house. It's like, oh, okay, they're there.
I think the fire engines were being nice to people, like, oh, it's 6 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday.
Yeah.
They're like, let's not put the sirens on, we might wake everyone up.
Yeah.
You've noticed a lot of the time, actually, they only put sirens on when they come to busy sort of areas,
It's like,
junctions.
get the
and
fuck
things
out of the
like
way,
that,
yeah.
If they've got clear roads, they won't put. They'll have the lights going, but
Yeah.
not sirens.
But I didn't see any of that, whether it's because it was our daylight, more or less.
Yeah.
And there's a
The
little,
firelight was quite warming.
and there's a little segue into the car boot, how good it was.
Oh, yeah, we can do. Yeah, it was just, but it was weird because you're like, huge fire, smoke everywhere. It just drifted past our house. Couldn't even smell it where we were. And you're looking out the back window of the house. It was like you wouldn't even know. I'm sure people living just like 2 doors away probably wouldn't even know this was going on. It was weird.
Crazy.
But yeah, as I said, Sean and I went to the car boot on Sunday.
We certainly did.
How did that go?
It was alright, wasn't it? It was quite a nice day as well.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause normally sometimes it can either be too cold or too hot. I had my hoodie with me, so at one point I had to take it off. It's like, yes.
You kept your woolly hat on the whole time, though. So
I did, yes, because my hair was greasy.
Couldn't
Couldn't let
Never,
anybody.
Sean, your hair's always perfect.
Couldn't let. Yeah, but it was an off day. It was a Sunday. Come on.
There was a seagull dropped a burger on him. That's what. Yeah.
Burger.
But we got a few bargains. Do you want
Yeah.
to do yours first?
Yeah, I don't normally go to car boots and buy a lot, but there was a few things that kind of struck me, and I thought, I will buy those things. I collect Polaroid cameras. I found one of those for £2, which was awesome. So that would go with my other collection. But we did a lot of DVD hunting, didn't we?
We did indeed.
And I managed to find a special edition of Pulp Fiction, which when I opened it up had 2 discs in there, a bit behind the scenes and documentary
Yeah,
stuff,
I've got that.
and then had like a
booklet
leaflet
or-
full of things, but I haven't managed to flick through it just yet. So once I do that, I'll sit down with an evening of Quentin Tarantino goodness and watching Pulp Fiction, watching behind the scenes, and then I found a movie by Michel Gondry. It's quite a sort of an abstract movie. I think it's might be French, I'm not quite sure. It's called The Science of Sleep. Anyone heard of it?
Yeah.
It's kind of a bizarre movie. It's all about sort of dreams, and there's a lot of like stop motion animation and stuff like that.
Stop motion, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy things
I
in
think
that.
it's been on Channel 4 before. I've seen a bit of it late night.
Potentially, yeah. I watched it years and years ago, and then I saw it there, and I was like, I've never seen this on DVD, so I just grabbed it, and I didn't realise it had Charlotte Gainsbourg in it. Recently just become aware of her because of Nymphomaniac and a few other Lars von Trier movies. So I picked that up, and a movie me and my girlfriend have been looking for a little while, Limitless. I don't know if you guys have seen that and or like it. Bradley Cooper, Robert De Niro.
Oh no, I haven't seen it. I know what film it is.
Takes a pill, becomes really smart, and you know uses all of his brain apart from 10%. So they're the ones that I picked up, and then myself and Mark. I think it was our first purchase of the day.
My first purchase was.
We went halfsies. We found a prop, yeah.
Because weirdly, I found my review that I was planning to write it to use it on, and it's actually got that little segment still in the review in case I found a prop I could use.
Amazing.
So it was like, yeah.
Let's do the reveal. We've been talking about
you got it here?
monkey.
No, I haven't. I nearly brought it, but
yeah, we've been talking about monkeys and apes, and we actually found a full ape mask.
Awesome.
proper big, completely covers your head
yeah.
gorilla mask. They were £1.50. I've gone down to £1.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
50p each.
Yeah.
That's crazy cheap.
Yeah.
So I was going to use that, and I'm hoping to do a review for that Korean film about the gorilla that joins the baseball team. I've got it written up, so I was going to use it for that.
So expect to see Mark in a gorilla mask very soon, or
Hopefully
maybe
within
even
the next
Joe in a
couple of
gorilla
weeks,
mask.
Yeah.
Do some Andy Serkis goodness with the arms and whatnot.
Joe Circus.
And you picked up a few interesting.
I spent £6.50, got 6 DVDs and the mask.
And the mask, don't forget the mask.
3 of the DVDs you might have heard of: Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Straw Dogs, the proper original one, Sam
the original,
Peckinpah. Film called Fido.
Yeah, I've heard
Which,
that's a zombie.
Yeah, it's sort of like
zombie,
that.
He's a good zombie.
1950s kind of picket fence, quaint American thing.
Yeah.
And if you got zombies are kept as pets, and it's Billy Connolly plays a zombie, you probably wouldn't even know just from looking at
It's
it.
on
So-
Netflix, I think that is.
Oh right, okay. And I think he breaks into the neighbour's yard and eats the neighbours, and the little kids like trying to what do? I don't want my parents to put my dog down, kind of thing. So that was quite a cool little film. And then 3 I picked up because they looked dumb as shit, and I went for stupid action movies. One called Firepower.
That's shit already.
I picked it up because it's got Gary Daniels in it. He was a kickboxing champion. He's been in a Jackie Chan film. He was in the live action version of Fist of the North Star. I looked it up on IMDb. Got a 5.2. So probably not as shit as I thought it was going to be.
Sounds shit though, no.
The other one I picked up, Tough and Deadly. One reason I picked it up, it's got Roddy fucking Piper in it.
Awesome.
And a guy who looked a lot like
Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, but it's not. It's someone called Billy Blanks. Never heard of him.
So we renamed him Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes, yeah.
Discount Wesley Snipes.
Wesley Snipes. But I looked that up on IMDb. 5.8. So that can't be bad. And the last one I picked up, no one in it I've ever heard of. It was called Overkill. It's got a 4.8 on IMDb. The only reason I picked it up because on the synopsis on the back, as with Major Max Gatling, there's a character in it called Jack Hazard. Fucking sold.
That's amazing.
Sold on that.
You have to give us some.
I may actually do little reviews on it. Yeah, I think I will.
Yeah.
It was because they look cheap and crap.
And I missed
I
that
like
on-
cheap and crap.
They did look cheap and crap.
And I missed it on tons of vinyl, yeah.
There was quite a lot of vinyl there, yeah. And weird Nazi stuff.
Yeah, we saw like a massive sort of.
I don't know if you make some military boxes and stuff. They would look like big gun carrying ammo boxes.
What about
the
drum that just said slightly radioactive on the side?
I didn't think there was a middle ground. You're either you're not radioactive or it is. Yeah.
I'm going to buy this.
Slightly. You're only going to turn half into the.
I'm going to buy this and sleep next to it.
I'm going to have on my head saying slightly dead.
Only slightly immune to it.
I don't get how there's a middle ground of radioactivity.
Well, now you know better.
Yeah, I've been educated by the Carboot.
So, it's cool that you get them quirky stalls though, because I bought all them Fangoria magazines. I think I bought all of them that time.
yeah.
Awesome.
Cool, yeah.
Right, okay, I got this week top 10 career-ending movies.
Oh.
So actors that you would have seen, heard that you've probably not heard of since they've made this movie. It's actually, this list is an ongoing voting list, so it's probably subject to change when it actually comes out officially. But I'm going to run through the top 10. Number 14. Oh, not 14. You'll understand why I said number 14. Because a couple of them in here, ones that people put in up.
And in at number 14.
We should point out Chud is numerically dyslexic.
It's going to be in the 2020 Olympics.
Number Z.
It's number 14 on this list, but it's number 10 in ours, but you'll understand that later when I say that.
Number 14. Number sandwich.
Eyeball.
Number I put on my shoes today.
Number red.
Number 27. Right, Elizabeth Berkley. Now, you might remember her Well, Showgirls was the film that ruined her, apparently. You might remember her from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right.
So
Showgirls ruined her career.
apparently, yeah. Have you seen her in anything since?
Yeah,
No.
true.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think I've seen anything ever. So.
There's one like, I think you misunderstand the meaning of career ending in like number 10. So I wasn't going to say that.
Number
So I
10 or
but I
number
just
9?
did. So number 9, or this is actually number 11.
I'm so confused.
I'm terrible at math. Keep it easy, jeez.
Right, Gina Davis, Cutthroat Island. Now, I believe that was a film done by a husband that she starred in. But yeah, I haven't seen her in anything recently, not for a long time.
That's true. She was at You Seen the Fly?
No.
Earth Girls Are Easy.
You'd reckon.
Oh, well, you mean
Yeah,
the
you-
girl from...
She's in Beetlejuice as well.
She's
Oh,
been
she's
married
a lot-
to Jeff Goldblum, didn't she?
Yeah, she's in lots of things though, right? She's lots of 80s things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Not
Right,
after
anyway.
this movie, apparently.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think what else.
Right, number 8. There you go. Good. Tom Green, Freddy Got Fingered. But
Oh, yeah.
Well, he didn't
What
really
was
have
he
a
doing
movie.
before?
Yeah, he didn't have a movie career before
The
that.
only thing I can think of him in was Road Trip.
Yeah, right.
oh
true,
yeah, he wasn't that one.
Was that after or before Freddy Got
It
Fingers?
was after.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
But, number 7, Sharon Stone, Basic Instinct 2.
Because they've seen everything, didn't they?
Yeah.
So yeah.
She's not getting a minge out, so nobody gives a shit anymore.
Number 6, Eddie Murphy, The Adventures of Pluto Nash. It's true, actually, I haven't seen him do anything for a long
I see
time.
him do that
Voiceover
crap.
stuff now, and it's always
See him do that
Donkey,
crap robot.
yeah.
What was that robot film? Dave. Was it Dave? Or he was a robot. Has anyone seen that? Dave?
Oh, was it a bit like the numbskulls out of Beano? He's got little people in him or something.
Yeah.
Little Eddie Murphys.
Control-
I hate everything.
he controls
that's
Dave.
so,
It's Dave.
I'm Eddie Murphy. I'm gonna have. There's 5 people in this film, and they're all me.
It's a bit like
He gives extra money
It's
to
just
no one paying for all of them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 5
like-
wages.
Adam Sandler and Eddie Murphy. They're just like, right, my ego's so massive, I'm just gonna play all the characters in it. It's like Dr. Dolittle. I'll play the mum, the dad, the son, and then
Dog.
yeah, the donkey.
Number 5, Chris O'Donnell,
Who?
Batman.
Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Brilliant. He-
Why did that
Oh,
end
yeah.
Clooney's career or anyone else's though? Just him.
I don't know.
It's not really fair on him.
Sorry, mate.
No,
you
it's
cruise
not.
Did you
shit
see
there.
George Clooney's ass in that batsuit though?
We saw
And
his
his back
back
nipples.
nipples. Yeah.
God.
That's skyrocketing. That was a career starter for Clooney. That was.
Number 4, I felt a little bit harsh, but it's actually kind of true. It's also the start and the end of his career. Jake Lloyd, Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace. He plays
Oh, the
Anakin
little kid.
Skywalker.
Well, that's again not his fault.
He
little kid.
he distances himself from that role now.
Wow.
He doesn't want people to recognise him because
No.
his Star Wars fans really don't like him.
But I don't think that was his fault. He was only what 8 or 9.
Yeah.
But that was the
Kicking him
beginning
in.
and the end of his career.
Surely they'd want to punch the bloke who played Jar Jar more than they would him.
Yeah, he was forcing.
Yeah, I mean, that was just.
Well, the guy
bad
that plays
writing.
Jar Jar is very bigger than him.
Yeah, he's a massive black guy.
I'll still take the risk. Like,
Me say Jar Jar, me say.
a lot of nerds united. So that when the weak become a mass, they can take down the strong. Go on, nerds.
He's pretty big.
Oh, is he? Oh, okay.
Number 3, Mike Myers in Love Guru. I've never seen Love Guru, but
Yeah, I've
I
seen
haven't
it.
seen Mike Myers in anything since.
Well, it's same as Eddie Murphy, just doing
Yeah,
voice roles like
yeah.
Shrek. You know, Shrek 10,000.
Now, number 2, I'm not sure about this. M. Night Shyamalan, The Last Airbender.
He was in it.
Whoa,
Oh, he directed it.
I'm guessing it ended
Oh, he
his
always
directing
cameos
career.
himself though in all his films,
Does he?
don't
And
he? Yeah.
what's he done?
After
After
Earth.
Earth, which he didn't cameo in, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know
That
if you've
wasn't,
seen it.
see, that's not really a
Fucking
career-ending
YouTube.
thing, but
No.
It was. Oh fuck! It was bad.
number-
Really bad. No,
After-
Last Airbender.
yeah.
Do you remember we had them at work and we had the little toys from the Last Airbender,
Yeah.
and I had to go around putting security warning stickers on. So we got worried people were going to nick stuff, so I went around and stuck it over the word air. That was my thing to.
I thought you were going to say you're right on the sticker. This movie is really,
I just put the
really
sticker
shit.
on the worst air, so everyone's
Bender.
buying props from the Last Bender. From my own
number 1.
amusement.
Who do you think number 1 will be? I bet you can't even begin to say.
Let me think.
It's female.
Oh, okay.
Old, young.
I'd probably say she's middle-aged now.
Don't know. Hit me with it.
Halle Berry, and Catwoman.
Oh yeah, that was a terrible film, wasn't it?
Yeah. Weren't she in a Bond movie or
She
something?
was, yeah. She's
Was that before or after Catwoman?
Swordfish as well.
Yeah, Swordfish was good.
Swordfish was good. Yeah.
That's all before Catwoman. That was Catwoman.
Oh,
No, I
I never saw
Well, She was in X-Men Days of Future Past.
Oh yeah.
Storm.
Yeah.
Her career.
Yeah, that's shit.
This list, they can't get the numbers right. They start with number 14 in the top 10, and they list people that still got careers.
I'm going to have to source my lists from somewhere else.
I'll tell you what, yeah.
Fuck you, watch
Number
Mojo.
one was terrible.
Yeah, I think we just...
To be honest, actually, that list is still in vote in progress.
It's because no one knows
a
that really. Oh, that's just Storm. Oh, alright, that's not worried.
Yeah.
No,
Maybe
whatever.
she's that good.
Yeah, oh, whatever.
Sean, when we was at the Carboot Sunday, I mentioned a series that's just started. Season 7 of it. Have you got round to...
Ah, yes, I did watch
For those
the
that don't
first
know,
episode.
we are quite big fans of the American TV show Face Off,
Yes.
which is, if you kind of think like a Master Chef, where they get people in, but it's all people that do makeup special
Yeah,
effects.
it's good.
Oh,
So it'll
okay.
be like, right, this week you can come in and your challenge is to make a werewolf.
That's cool.
But it'll be, you pick a background, it's got a time in that background, so you've got a bit like a techno werewolf
Oh,
or a
awesome.
gothic
Yeah.
one, and season 7 has just started. And it had quite a clever little bit for the start of the season.
It did, yeah. They always start off the season with a little bit of a twist, don't they? They're like, hey, welcome to Face Off, get yourself comfortable, have a drink. And it's like, challenge!
Yeah.
You gotta make a werewolf now. Like, oh, shit, I
But this one
work
kind
for
of
this.
started with, right, welcome to Face Off, there's 16 of you. Oh, by the way, you're not actually on the show yet.
Yeah.
This is your final audition, 2 of you are going at the end of this. And they're like, what the fuck, what?
See, when I watched the episode, I don't want to give too much away because I know you're a big fan, Joe, but I think you're probably still stuck on like season 3, aren't you?
Yeah, something like that.
I was just stuck on it.
Still stuck
It's
on
alright, I
season.
don't mind you giving.
Normally there's like a foundation challenge, then
Yeah,
there's
they do
an
that.
elimination challenge. When they started doing this like last audition challenge, I thought that would just be like a short little one. They do a little bit of
Yeah.
makeup, Michael Westmore will come in and be like, that's alright, that's a bit shit, that could be better, I quite like that, yeah, you're pretty good, and then just go, you're going home, now it's time to do the real challenge. But then they were like, yeah, we're going to take it to the reveal stage, and I was like, is this it? I felt kind of gypped off the first episode.
No, I didn't mind. Because
I just wanted more. I think I'm just really greedy. Yeah.
But I think I also didn't mind because the 2 that I thought were the shittest were the ones that went home.
Yeah.
And the one I really liked was the one who won the thing.
I can't remember who won it now.
The green one, like an earth goddess with all the leaves around her head.
She was the cake decorator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She'd used piping
Yeah.
to like make veins down there. But it was like where she'd blended in the makeup. It was
Yeah.
like seamless. It looked really good
Yeah.
concept as well.
Now at this point, we could probably do like a weekly episodic thing where if you guys want to join in and start watching Face Off, we can talk about it week to week. But if not, we don't really want to spoil it for
Sounds like
everyone.
someone. I've got
It
some
is a
catching
really
up to
good,
do.
really good
Yeah,
show.
it's
You've
really
seen
good.
Ink Master, haven't you?
Yeah.
Think that, but with makeup
That's
special
awesome.
effects.
Yeah, that'd
That's
be
a better
really
one.
good. It is really
But they're
good.
less bitchy because Ink Master, everyone fucking
Oh,
hates
yeah,
each other.
they do.
These will help each other out.
You get like Tom Savini on there, all sorts of different.
It
people.
was Robert England this week.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And did you notice one of the guys was actually a teacher at the Tom Savini school?
Yeah.
And he didn't win it. I was like, I thought you'd won it. I thought you'd be amazing, but. Yeah.
And Glenn Hedrick's got a contender for crazy sideburns. Remember, he's got like lightning bolt sideburns.
Yeah, and that weird hat with the little brainy
creature on it.
yeah.
And V Neil's not going to be in it as much. Which
No, that's
she's
quite
like
disappointing.
she's like the kind old auntie you wish you
Yeah.
had.
He is cool.
And then they got in like the English equivalent of Fee Neal, haven't they?
She's a bit. Yeah, I don't know what she's done. I need to look her up. But
Yeah. So
yeah, brilliant show. Definitely worth checking out.
And then we've got to say about homework, yeah.
yeah. I guess we can start wrapping this thing up. Talk about a little bit of
What did we
homework.
suggest for Sean at the start?
Some sort of martial arts film, was it?
Oh,
True.
God, you said,
True
remember
Romance.
True Romance? That was it. Yes. Yeah. That's really good.
Okie dokie, and that's Gary Oldman, Christian Slater, did you say?
Yeah, Patricia.
I ain't
Arquette,
seen Planet of the Apes, the first one ever.
Definitely check out Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
When you finish Wolf Children, go for Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Wolf Children. Chud, if you can get your hands on a copy of The Raid 2, I would highly suggest that.
Okay.
If not, can you think of anything else?
What else we talked about?
Or Ip Man, because you said not seen that one. I know we.
Do I really want to do too much?
Oh, no, that's right. And we have mentioned that, Joe.
So I'm just going to come back and say, yeah, it was amazing.
Although, if
Well,
we're
Raid
going to
2 is
do
that.
a Sharknado special next week,
Yeah,
shall
we
we
might not.
forgive the homework and then make Sharknado 2, the second one, our homework as a
joint
as a
homework,
collective one this week?
I'm
So
not-
that's fancy doing that?
I don't mind
okay,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So join us again on Chapterskip Podcast Volume 20, where we'll do a Sharknado special. Let's call it Shark Week, because that's what all the TV shows
Well,
do.
didn't they
don't
make Shark Week?
Yeah, that is a film.
I think
So
the
I
guys
think
who done Shark, because they mentioned it in the
Yeah.
first one, didn't they?
It's
They
a
go,
cheap
oh,
film,
they go, how do you know
so-
what shark it was? You go, oh, I saw Shark Week.
Yeah,
I think they.
I just thought it was like a
that.
Discovery thing where they just show a lot of shows on sharks and whatnot. So.
No, they done some shark freaky thing or something.
Yeah, I think it may be a TV series as well.
Anywho, so that brings us towards the end. If you've got any suggestions or any comments you'd like to leave us with regards to what we've talked about this evening on the Chapterskip podcast, you can leave them down below in the comments section, or you can tweet us at Chapterskip, or like us on Facebook and head over there and leave a comment on our wall.
If you've got hate mail for Joe, don't leave it on there.
I wasn't going to mention that because we might cut that bit out. But,
or just put a censored bleep.
And us going, what the fuck?
Yeah, you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Chapterskip, or you can head down to the description and check out all the links there. So thanks for tuning in this week, and on behalf of Chapterskip, I'm Sean.
I'm Joe.
I'm numerically dyslexic.
I'm 12.
And I'm still Mark.
We'll catch you guys again next week for Shark Week.
Numerically dyslexic.